everybody, welcome back to my home. Today I'm going to be talking about a very realistic approach to a homeschool mom's cleaning schedule. Here comes my dog right now. So this video is specifically geared towards homeschool moms, but even if you're not a homeschool mom, there's going to be things that you can take from what I'm saying and apply it to your daily life. But as a homeschool mom, we are kind of in the trenches pretty much every hour of every day with our children. And as much of a blessing as that is, it can also get a little overwhelming. It's my dog again. Let me start by saying that this video is not a how to have a Pinterest-worthy home. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I want to be very real, okay? There is so much pressure and I don't know, the way our culture is with social media, you always see the best of everything. And most of the time, what you're seeing is not real. If you're a homeschooling mom and you're chasing a perfect home, that's a battle you're not going to win. I really don't think you'll ever win that. And I think it's going to bring you more stress than pleasure. So I have been guilty of trying to make things perfect. And honestly, I don't like the mom that I become when I'm aiming for perfection in my home. So I've turned over a new leaf. I do what I have to do. I enjoy a clean home. I enjoy a tidy home, but I am not holding myself to these standards and expectations that I once was. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have learned over the last few years of homeschooling, and I hope that they will help you to feel less pressured to keep your house looking perfect and just help you to enjoy the stage of life you're in a little bit more. The very first point I want to make is that I believe that homeschool moms should clean less. Yes, I just said that, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean. As homeschool moms, like I said before, we are here all the time with our kids. Now, my dog is chewing her toy. She was sleeping on the couch when I first started recording this, so I thought, oh, perfect. The house will be quiet. As soon as I hit record, she jumped off the couch and got her toy and is now chewing it right beside me. Ignore the background noise because you're definitely going to hear some. As a homeschool mom, we are here day in and day out with our kids. And not only are we here, our kids are here. We really live in our home. Our children, they have school here. They have activities here. Friends are over. I mean, yes, we do things outside the home as well. But the home really is the center of the majority of our life. With that comes messes, right? It's unavoidable. And you know what? Here's a little secret. We actually live in our home. I know, it's shocking. We live in our home. And you know what else? Our friends who come over when we invite company over, guess what? Our friends know that we homeschool our kids. Like, what? They do. They actually know that we homeschool our children. And they know that we homeschool our kids from our home, meaning where we live. So all those things that are laying around, the art projects that are drying on the counter, the books that are left open somewhere, that is part of our homeschool and that is part of our life. Our friends know it. Our family knows it. They don't care. If someone cares, then, I don't know, maybe you should invite them over again? I'm just saying. Anyway, my point is, when you are in the trenches of homeschooling, and I don't mean trenches to sound negative, I just mean when you are in the nitty-gritty daily routine of homeschooling, yes, there are certain things that you need to do to keep your house functioning well. You don't want to live in chaos and filth. But your home really is, like I said, the center of everything. It is not going to look the same as somebody's home when both parents work outside the house and the children are out at school all day. It is just not going to look the same. It's not going to stay the same. It's not going to be as clean or neat. Not that everybody's house is clean and neat who doesn't homeschool, but what I'm saying is there really is never a time in the day where people aren't actively living in your home when you are a homeschool mom. So stop trying to make your house look like nobody lives there. And again, guilty as charged. I have been the mom more times than I like to admit where when we have people over, I'll get all the pillows on the couch fluffed up, and I'll even tell my kids and my husband, don't sit on the couch. I don't want to get the pillows all messed up. My husband looks at me like I have 10 heads, and yeah, maybe I do have 10 heads because that seems like something a crazy person would do, right? But I've done it. I want people to come in and just be like, oh, look at your house. But for what? That's not reality. My house does not look like that 99% of the time. We have kids, we have dogs. It just doesn't look like that. So as homeschool moms, I want us to stop stressing over trying to make it look like we don't live, work, play, and do everything else in our home, because we do. So now I'm going to break down what I do in our home as far as daily and weekly cleaning schedules. Now, when I say schedule, I say that very, very loosely. I don't have a chart. I don't have an Excel spreadsheet or anything like that. That is not how I roll. If that's how you are, fantastic. You do you. That's just not what works for me. That's never been my thing. So for me, I just know what I like to do each day and at sort of what blocks of time each day that I do those things in order to ensure that our day runs as smooth as possible. So let's talk about daily cleaning schedules first. So in the morning, after I take care of our animals, we have chickens and whatnot. So I'll take the dogs out, I'll do the chickens. Once those things are done, then I start doing the cleaning chores that are important in the morning. So for us, that includes emptying the dishwasher. I always run it through the night before. So emptying the dishwasher and reloading if there's dishes in the sink, and there pretty much always is. Most of us enjoy, a good evening snack. So there's mugs and things like that need to go in the dishwasher. So empty, reload the dishwasher. Once that is done, every single morning, I like to wipe down my kitchen counters, wipe down the kitchen sink, and then give the kitchen table a nice wipe as well. We do our homeschool at the kitchen table most of the time. So we spend a lot of time in the kitchen, and mentally for me, if the kitchen is fresh and clean and just ready to go, then I feel like I can handle the day so much better. Here's my dog. Hello. So because we spend so much time in the kitchen, I need to have a clean kitchen. Angel. Honestly, my dog is so intrusive. I guess Angel's just part of the video now. Because we spend so much time in the kitchen, it's just important for my own mental clarity to not have a bunch of mess and clutter laying around. Like I said, we do our homeschool at the kitchen table most days, and I just want things to feel comfortable in there. And I have the outlook, I guess you could say, that if I feel stressed over a mess, my kids are probably going to feel stressed over it too. Likely to a very different degree, because as children, they wouldn't be as aware of things as I am. However, I do believe that children will feel the stress of a chaotic environment. So I just want, where we're going to do our school time, I want it to feel as calm as possible. So doing a quick wipe down of the kitchen counters, the table, taking care of dirty dishes, that's all I really need to do just to make the space feel ready. Now, during our school time, I don't do anything. The only thing that I'll do during school is, if it's needed, I'll give the kitchen table another wipe down in between subjects. Sometimes things can get really messy. You can get paints or markers or eraser dust or what have you all over the table. So if there's been a mess made, I will just quickly wipe that off before we start into the next thing. But other than that, I don't do any cleaning through the morning. Once our school day is done, and we usually aim to be finished school right around noontime. So once that's done, then I will do one final good wipe down of the table. For me, just for my own mental clarity, I like to know that come supper time, the table's not going to still have eraser dust on it and little pieces of crayon peel and all those things that show up during the school morning. I like to know that that's taken care of and it's gone and it's out of the way. So I just do a quick wipe down of the table when we're all done school. And then if it's needed, I will do a vacuum just around the bottom, like around the floor, around the kitchen table. Because again, all those things that land on the table also will land on the floor. So I will do that as well. That's about it. Then we have lunch. Now, In the afternoon, that's when I will tackle some other daily things that need to be done, such as our mudroom. Our mudroom definitely lives up to the name. Let me just say that. With 2 dogs and kids and animals outside, the stuff that gets tracked in on our boots and on our animals' paws, it can be intense. So the mudroom is something that for us has to be addressed daily. Now, I do not do a thorough clean of it every day, but I will go in and vacuum it once a day, sometimes even twice, just depending on what the weather is. If the grass has been mowed recently, a bunch of grass gets tracked in, things like that. So I will do a pretty frequent vacuuming in there, and I usually do that every afternoon. Also, just little things like if the kids' gloves or hats are laying all over the place, I'll put those in a bin, or I'll hang the coats up, or things like that. It certainly is not made perfect every day by any means, but at the same time, I don't like it being super messy. The mudroom for me is one of those areas of the house that is kind of a stressor for me. If I see that it's really messy, I feel like I just feel anxious. So I need to do that. That may not be the way you are. I do want to say that all of these things that I'm saying today, these are the things that work for me. I'm not saying you have to go and do this exact same thing or follow this exact same schedule. Do what works for you. But just take what I'm saying and take from it whatever it is that you need to motivate yourself and get things done around your home the way that they need to be done for you. The other thing that I do pretty much every afternoon, and actually I do some of this in the morning as well before school, I just forgot to mention it, is I will come into our living room, which is where I'm at now, and do a quick 1-minute tidy up. All this is picking up the blankets and pillows that land on the floor, because they always land on the floor. It's just the way it goes. Picking up those things, putting them on the couch, straightening up the ottoman, and that's basically it. All I'm trying to do here is stay on top of the typical mess, and I will do these things sometimes 10 times a day. Just come in and pick up pillows or pick up blankets because the dogs knock them off and the kids knock them off. And again, we live here. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? But I come in here, it takes literally no time. A minute is a stretch. So sometimes when we build up these things in our head, we think, oh, we have to do this and this and this, and we build it up as something bigger than what it actually is, when sometimes all it is as you walk past a room, take 20 seconds to go in and pick up that pillow. That's it. It can be as simple as that, but then the next time you walk past the room, you don't feel as stressed. Like, it can be really, really simple. So doing just those little things through the day has really helped me to feel like I'm not losing control over my home. Let's talk laundry now. So we are on a dug well, so we have to be fairly mindful of our water usage. We don't have like a ton of water at one time. So I do have to stretch my laundry out. I can't take one day and get all my laundry done. I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. So I will do a load here and there as needed. And so to try to stay on top of things, I'll take a little bit of my daughter's laundry, a little bit of my son's, and a little bit of mine and my husband's, and put it all together in one load. That way, no one person is getting like a really full hamper while somebody else's laundry is getting done. I'll just take little bits from each person's laundry, put it all into one load, and then the next load, I'll do the same thing. I find that works really well for me and for our home. And again, it just helps me to feel like I'm staying on top of things. My house is never, ever fully clean. Even if I've made, one room look fantastic, guaranteed, like the next room is not fantastic. My house is never fully clean, and I have come to accept that and actually kind of be okay with it, because I love having children. Children are such a blessing. And I know that there is going to come a day where I'm going to be sitting in my nice, neat, tidy home and realize that there's nobody here to mess it up. And I think that's going to be a little bit sad. So there's a part of me that kind of enjoys the mess, kind of, because I know that these days are going to pass so quickly and I need to enjoy it while I can. I actually came across a really cute expression just recently, and it's cleaning the house when the kids are still growing is like shoveling the snow when it's still snowing. And I'm like, yes, That is so true. And as homeschool moms, because our kids are here all the time, which again, that's our choice, and I'm very thankful for it. But because they're here all the time, we can get a room perfectly clean and turn around and they have brought all their toys in and made a mess behind us. That is just the way it is. We have to accept it, and to try to expect anything else, I think it's just hurting you. I really do. I think it's hurting you. I think it's going to hurt your kids. Keep up with things in the sense that you don't want a filthy house. You don't want your kids living in filth and grime. Keep things clean, yes, but nothing needs to be perfect ever. So let go of that. Just like release it. I give you permission now to just let it go. Now let's talk about the weekly homeschool mom cleaning schedule. So we just talked about daily things like, cleaning the kitchen, doing a quick vacuum, tidying up the living room, things like that. Let's talk about weekly cleaning schedules. These are things like cleaning the bathrooms, making sure all the laundry gets done, vacuuming the whole house. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I do it. I vacuum the whole house once a week. I'll talk more about that in a second. Mopping certain areas. Now, I do not mop the whole house once a week. I mop the high traffic areas about once a week, and everything else is just done on an as needed basis. And then the other thing that I do on a weekly basis is go downstairs to the toy room and make sure that I do a thorough mom cleaning of the toy room. And I'll get more into that in a second as well. Let's talk about bathrooms. We have 2 bathrooms in our house. Now, the house that we just lived in had 4 bathrooms. So we lived in a bigger house before now. And honestly, I found 4 bathrooms very, very hard to maintain. Cleaning all 4 bathrooms would take me like 2 hours. It was just a lot. 2 bathrooms seems so easy to me, but I also don't necessarily like cleaning bathrooms and will sometimes try to put off this chore. Once again, here's my dog. Hello. But bathrooms are one of those things that, kind of like I mentioned before, you tend to, my dog is so needy. You tend to build this up in your mind as this huge job, and it's going to be so awful and it's so gross and it's going to take so long, and then you put it off. Well, the longer you put it off, usually the dirtier it gets. That is definitely true for bathrooms. And most bathrooms, you can really do like a good top to bottom clean in like 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even less. But you can. I know if I go into our bathrooms, if I'm in there for 20 minutes, I can come out 20 minutes later and it's looking pretty good. So it doesn't have to be an hour of cleaning. You don't have to allow it to take that much time out of your day. But we do. We build up these things. We tend to think of them as a much bigger chore. You just need to assert yourself all the time, don't you? So bathrooms are definitely on the once a week cleaning schedule for me. Vacuuming. Vacuuming is something that I actually really enjoy. I find vacuuming to be very satisfying. You move your vacuum along the floor and everything just gets sucked up in there, and I don't know, it just does something good to me. And all of my friends know that I love to vacuum. It's kind of become a little bit of a joke, to be honest. But vacuuming, I do a little bit of vacuuming every day in various parts of the house. But like I said, I do not vacuum the whole house every day. I do go around the whole house about once a week. I don't mind that because I enjoy vacuuming. I know some people hate vacuuming. But again, depending on the size of your house, you can probably vacuum your whole house in half an hour or less. So don't build it up to be more than it needs to be. Just get the job done and move on. Let's discuss the toy room. Now, we have a fairly good sized toy room in our basement, and our kids use it. They are down there every day for hours at a time playing, which is absolutely wonderful. Don't get me wrong. But the kids are down there for hours at a time, and they play hard, and they make big messes. Now, I do have them go down and tidy things up. But about once a week, I go down and do what I call a mom cleaning. So you know how kids will clean up, but it's not the same as when you go down there and put your touch on it, right? So about once a week, I'll go down, and this is a really good time to vacuum that room. So we talked about vacuuming. This is a good time to do the vacuuming down there. So once a week, I'll go down. I will pull things out from under the couch. I will, put away things that were heavier that maybe the kids weren't able to put away on their own. Straighten up the books on the bookshelf, things like that. So I will go down there once a week and take care of that job. And knowing that I will be down there once a week makes seeing the messes that happen every single day, all day long, seem a little bit less overwhelming because I know that I'm going to tackle it at some point during the week. I'm going to end with a little piece of advice. Whether you're a homeschool mom or not, it actually is okay to do less. You do not need to do it all. You do not need your home to be perfectly clean. It's okay to do less and just enjoy your family. Here's another little expression that my grandmother used to say. And she used to say it to my mother. My mother would say it to me. The dust will still be here in 20 years, but your children won't be. That definitely kind of gets me right in the heart, because I know that there is going to come a day, like I said before, where my house stays clean. I clean it and it stays clean. And why? Because my children will be grown and gone. So why spend all this time now when they're little stressing and cleaning and worrying about trying to impress people? Just live in your home, people. Just live and enjoy, and don't let other people dictate how you think your house should look. This isn't their house. This is your house. Don't let social media or television or even friends and family make you feel like your house should be a certain way. It is your home. It is your children's home. And yes, take care of it. I'm not saying become a slob and don't do anything. Take care of it. Your children need you to take care of their home. But be realistic. And if you need time to recharge, because let's face it, as a homeschool mom, we can get pretty run down pretty quickly. So if you need extra time to do something that fuels yourself, like, exercising or reading or praying or whatever it may be, if you need to take that time and not clean so that you can recharge and be a better mom for your kids, that's what you do. The dust will wait. It'll still be here tomorrow. In fact, it'll be back tomorrow. If you clean today, the dust will be back tomorrow. I guarantee it. So it's okay to do less. I am giving you that permission. Don't overwork yourself. Don't overdo it. Take care of your home. Take care of your family. But set realistic goals and realistic expectations for yourself. Enjoy your children when they're young. Enjoy the state of your home when you have young children, because I promise you, you are going to miss it. I know that now when you're tripping over Legos and Barbies and all these things, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, when is it going to end? But it is. It's going to end. And then you're going to want your grandchildren to come over and leave Legos and Barbies on your floor because you're going to miss this time. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. I hope that some of this has encouraged you. Take whatever tasks that your home requires of you and break it down into very simple blocks. Break it down into your daily tasks, your weekly tasks, and even within those, like for your daily tasks, break that down into what you need to do in the morning before you start school with your kids, and then what can wait until the afternoon. Just make things short and sweet and realistic, and I promise you, you will be doing enough. Enough will get done. Your children will thrive, and your home will feel calm and peaceful, and you'll be happier because you won't be overdoing it all the time and stressing yourself out. Anyway, I hope that this video has helped you and given you some encouragement. If you haven't already, click subscribe. I put out a lot of homeschooling, homesteading, even some home decor type of content. So if those are the things that you're into, click subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye.